my downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and
hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this amazing round of 32 CEA Open playoff game. Today we are going to be indulging in Sheridan College Esports going against University of Akron's blue team. I'm CDAPS.
I'm King of Dopenshire. How's everybody doing? As my friend CDAPS said, we do have a great round of 32 game. This is Open League, Sheridan College versus University of Akron blue team. And I think we're ready to get right into the first map here. Both teams are ready. We're going to be going on Cafe. That is going to be University of Akron's pick for the map. Followed by that, we will be going on Consulate, picked by Sheridan. And finally, if it comes to it, we're going to go to Bank as our decider map. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited as well. If you haven't been paying attention, we are into the playoff phase of Open League. So it's no longer these best of twos. It's all the way to a big old best of three series where one of these teams will be walking away with a full victory and moving on to the round of 16. So we might as well just go ahead and go into the lineups for Sheridan College. We have Osper, Big Bear, Panographer, Quinner, and Daddy Derek. And over on the University of Akron side, we have Yrene, Shifty, Engine, Seaman, and Arv.
Yeah, and those are going to be a great lineup for both these teams. Going to come out with their best, and it's going to be a great round. As we said, we are going to get into Cafe. We're going to see Band Phase come out here in a second as the map loads. But, this is going to be a great match here at 9 p.m. on a Saturday for those of you on the East Coast. And right away, we're getting into bans. Let's see what Sheridan decides to start off banning on attack.
Yeah, I think definitely the players to watch this game. It's definitely on the Sheridan side. We'll be watching Osper and Panographer. And as we go over to the Akron side, I'm going to have my eyes on Yrene as well as Arv. Both of these players, all four of these players, have done very well thus far in Open League, showing off their skills on display for everybody. So I hope everybody's nice and comfortable. They got their popcorn, they've got their drink, and are ready for a show.
Yeah, and we are going to get our first ban of the night, and that is actually going to be Nomad. Sheridan is going to take away the anti-roam potential from Akron, but Akron is going to instantly lock in a ban. They're going to opt to ban Thatcher, someone it looks like they are not going to need for their attack.
Yeah, I know if University of Akron Blue plays anything like the gold team, their Nomad play is definitely very impressive and is really good at cutting rotations properly. So, if getting that Nomad off the board might put a little bit of a wrench inside their game plan on attack. However, we are going to see a Mira ban as well coming from the Akron side, which is pretty default for a Cafe, and another default ban being Echo off of the board as Sheridan locks in the final ban.
Yeah, and those are going to be your bans for the first map. We're going to have Nomad, Thatcher, Mira, and Echo. And we're going to get right into the first round here. Let's see where they go. I would not be surprised. Good thing I didn't finish saying it. I was going to bet on third floor, but looks like they want to take it to kitchen service, kitchen cooking on their first round.
Yep, I've actually had the opportunity to see this Sheridan strat on kitchen. It definitely is very strong. There's a couple rotate holes in untraditional areas, as well as with just the rest of the team. It flows very nicely, and it's definitely an interesting kitchen site that you might not expect to see as per default. So I'm definitely going to be interested to see exactly how Yrene is going to lead his team in breaking down this defense.
Yeah, you got me excited to see what they're going to do here. It looks like they have no hard breach denial, so they're not going to have a Kite or a Bandit on the board to help them with the bakery wall or the wall going from the freezer that we see Panographer on right here. They're going to have a little bit of a rotate hole, so that might just be part of their strat. But on the Akron side, we do have Gridlock and Capital, and that's going to be a lot of plant phase utility right there that they can go through. And I'm going to bet that this is going to revolve around the plant and whether Sheridan can hold off the plant long enough and take out that utility early on so Akron doesn't have much utility when it comes to their plant time.
Yeah, as you look on the defense side, it's definitely a whole lot of fragging potential with the Vigil, Mozzie, and Jaeger all having very strong guns and kits very well suited to a roam potential. But as you look on the attack, seeing that Gridlock and Capital that we talked about, that those ability to smoke off possible plants and paths on into sight could spell disaster as the time begins to dwindle down. We're actually going to see a nice attempted spawn peek out from Quinners. He's looking to get aggressive and make these attackers not feel safe, as it does look like they're just going to try to bypass the third floor entirely. However, Quinn is just going to go ahead and say, hey, you got to worry about me upstairs.
Yeah, we're going to have Osper here looking from prep room outside by that truck with the Alda. He's not going to find anyone quite yet, but Arv is going to be droning in. Is going to see someone prone in the other room by Bakery. We're going to have Seaman actually in train room trying to do some roam clearing. They still have to deal with the Sheridan defender on a 3rd floor, but they are making good progress.
Yeah, and we are going to see Quinter having the help from his teammates on that default cam that has not been taken off, feeding him a lot of intel as he's looking to rotate and get in behind these attackers as much as possible, as well as Panographer and Osper doing a little bit of a wombo combo inside Bakery, making sure it's very difficult to get in for the rest of this team. Panographer will take a good amount of shots initially as he takes another aim duel, but it unfortunately will not connect due to the initial Blackbeard shield of Arv here. There's going to be some explosions popping through. Arv's going to be re-peeking once again, take a few more shots to that cling wrap protecting his face.
Yeah, and Arf is actually going to take a damage, but is going to take down Osper. First pick of the night going down as looks like Arv did get down in the process, though. Quinter is going to pick up a kill on a C-Man, putting it back even at the moment, but they have to pick up Arv with that. Shifty takes down Quinter, putting them up an operator, or putting Akron up an operator with a minute left in the round.
However, we do have to say Shifty and Arv are both very weak, but Panographer has also taken about half of his HP gone. But he will go ahead and finally get that refrag onto that Blackbeard here, as the rest of his team is making their way back to site and trying to stop this execute coming in quite soon. There's still all 3 smoke grenades, as well as actually, Panographer will go down. I was going to say he has a nitro left, but as this vertical control coming in from University of Akron is causing this execute to start getting accelerated forward. Eddie Derrick is going to get in another aim duel here, but will not be able to land the shots onto InGen, as Big Bear does manage to take out Shifty, but the refrag does come out, and Akron will take the first round of Cafe.
Yeah, and that's going to be a nice win from them. Taking Kitchen as their first round on attack is going to be a pretty good momentum booster going into the second round. It's going to be interesting to see how Sheridan reacts to that, whether they try Kitchen again or go cocktail bar lounge on that 3rd floor, and it looks like that might be their plan right here.
Yeah, what I'm liking from the Akron side is it does seem as if they have their lineup kind of hard set for any site. This lineup that they have a hard breach, they have Blackbeard here is most likely just their +1 pick, and as you have a whole lot of utility being brought from the Capital and Gridlock that can be used on any site going forward, as well as those Zofia most likely on more of an entry role, and probably does have those breaching charges in conjunction with her lifeline impact grenades to do any soft breaching that Akron does need.
Yeah, the castle is definitely an interesting pick. I'm excited to see how they use the castle here, what they decide to block off. We do see that rotation hole going into bathroom. We just saw Big Bear throw that there. We're looking at it right here, and that's going to be pretty critical, allowing them to get some more flow between the 2 sides of 3rd floor, especially as their defenders get pushed out of Cigar Lounge and all the way back into sight. And that's going to be pretty critical as the round goes on, because we saw Akron in the first round at least was very proficient in how they pushed near sight. And with the high fragging power of Sophia and the Blackbeard, that's going to be something that those windows are going to be pretty hard to hold on the side of Sheridan.
Yeah, and as we do like to say, here Cigar and Piano Lounge is the biggest choke point of this entire site, and you need to be able to hold it for as long as possible to slow down these attackers and make them waste a whole lot of time clearing you out. But I do want to say I think we've seen a gigantic surge in the castle play on competitive side since he has been erased with the presence of the super shorty shotgun secondary. That really just does add a whole lot more soft breach onto the defense side and allows a lot more rotations to be made, as well as it is a decent enough secondary if you are quite close, and the UMP just isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, we already have good action coming out in terms of these angles from Akron. They have both hatches open, and they had Arv sitting on that skylight. Panographer is under, but Big Bear is going to kill on Seaman, and Panographer is going to get Arv on that skylight. And that's 2 down already for Akron. Not looking good.
Yeah, and I actually like the aggression out here from Panographer, just peeking that skylight with a little bit of extra cojones. He's going to peek once again. He might get punished for his overaggression, but at this point he has not thus far. is now with the Capital off the board from that initial flurry of picks onto the defensive side. That is a whole lot of utility gone for these attackers. However, Engine still does have those smoke grenades in her pocket just to be able to try to get a plant down or maybe just protect the drop, as he will go ahead and drop and use that smoke as I just said.
Yeah, we do have Daddy Derek here sitting with a shotgun right up against that red stairwell behind a shield. That's going to be hard to contest. We're going to see Big Bear here cut off that rotation as they did fall back, but Quinner is going to get shifty, but Engine is going to respond right away by taking down Quinner, but Daddy Derek is going to get the refrag. It's all up to Irene, and with 45 seconds left on the clock, Akron has to make something work here if they want to get this win.
As he does get aggressive and goes for the drop, he's going to take about 25% of his health as the toll here, and will take some more shots onto the Ella, but will not be able to land as the rest of these flurry of bullets are going in towards him. He downs the mute, but it might not be enough as he is only on 20 HP and has 3 defenders left to take out, as well as only 20 seconds left to go with. He does have diffuser in hand. He's going to try to go ahead and jiggle peek, out face peek, and slip on past Panographer, but he will not be able to, as Osprey's going to use that evil eye camera on a long angle to go ahead and just zap him away.
Yeah, that was a really good hold by Sheridan. Quite the opposite of what we saw the last round, where UA really took a big lead towards the end of that round. Here, Sheridan really held out for a long time. I think one of the biggest proponents was having Derek being able to sit on that red stairwell shield for a long time and just slow down the push from Akron. You said it yourself, that area is the biggest choke point, and the longer you can hold that, the better. And especially Arv being taken down on that skylight by Panographer, that was definitely very good early picks coming out from Sheridan that won them that round.
Yeah, I was initially skeptical on the choice to not reinforce that red wall into piano. However, it did make it so the hatch drop into top red was definitely highly contested and was not a safe drop as you usually see. Most teams can usually just open up that hatch and go right to the top of red and sit near that reinforced wall without fear of being wallbanged from piano. However, we did see the castle was just able to use that UMP and rip through it, and actually did manage to get a pick onto an unsuspecting attacker. But now we are seeing Reading Room being played for the first time, as this is definitely the most interesting site on this map. It's sort of the do or die site when you're talking about momentum. If they're able here to hold this third floor effectively and get a win here, it is going to spell a good momentum shift towards the Sheridan side, as they will be able to go back down to kitchen and try it once again while having a lead at 2-1.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
I mean, we are on round 3 of 12 or 15. It depends on whether a team wins or we end up seeing a tie in the regular time zone of this map. Still early though, in Sheridan, as you said, could get a nice momentum boost here by winning this third site. Opting to not go back to kitchen is a little bit of an interesting choice, but you know, if they get this here, that's going to be very nice, as they're going to still have kitchen available for them to go to, followed by third floor.
Yeah, and this is one of those sites that you have to hold the third floor in a very similar manner to how you hold the regular third floor site. There's so much vertical destruction that can go on, and it makes it impossible to sit on site. And that's why you see players like Panographer here sitting over towards Pixel Bench corner with a whole lot of protection with a shield, a couple ADSs, to make sure his position is quite safe. I'm actually excited to see exactly how Engine here on the IQ is going to try to counter Osper on Pulse. If you didn't know, if Engine is going to be looking on his IQ scanner, he will be able to spot the little blinks of Osper through walls, through floors, through whatever, if he is happening to be on that cardiac sensor.
Yeah, and that could be an interaction that could lead to a death here. It seems like Osper sitting under that breakable floor could take some shots, but Pun is going to be holding this cigar lounge very well, actually. The ping is going to go out that he is there, but Seaman and Shifty have to do something here to get rid of that operator, but Pun is actually going to take down Seaman. It's all up to Shifty to get this position. Pun is going to fall back for the meantime, but minute 45 off the clock, I'd say that the job was very well done.
Yeah, and like we say, usually with the roamers, you just want to play time to your advantage as much as possible. And Pun has definitely killed a whole lot of time this time, as well as managed to take out an attacker on his way. He gets droned out and is going to go ahead and relinquish a bit more control inside of Piano as he falls back towards White Stairs, most likely will go back towards site. Now we're going to see Osprey going in towards the Pillars area, possibly to get a nitro on an unsuspecting attacker that might be sitting over towards the New Heaven drop. He's actually going to be using these shotgun footholes in as Engine drops the hatch and is right next to site. However, Corner will get another pick onto Shifty and leave it into a 5v3 instance with 30 seconds remaining.
Make that a 5v0 as Osper, Pun, and Big Bear get kills each in their own, giving Sheridan not only the round win, but a flawless round win at that. Very good roaming from the team. Not even terribly roaming, but mostly just sitting in one spot and holding the angles they needed to hold. And that's going to get them that round. And we're going to see if that can get them Kitchen. We're going to go back there, which Sheridan did lose to Akron on the first round of the night. But anything can change here on round 4 of Cafe.
Yeah, and I think it's going to come down to exactly who gets the first pick in this instance. As we've seen, both of the rounds on Sheridan have been brought through getting this first initial pick, and I think that's what's going to be the most important. On the first round, we did see, I believe it was Arv on the Blackbeard was able to take out Osper on the Maestro, and the rest of the rounds just sort of steamrolled off of a bunch of trades, and having the man advantage is always really big in this instance. However, we are going to see Engine show that initial Monty pick and opt to 6th pick it away. However, it actually did force the Vigil of, I believe, Big Bear to switch to the Legion to try to counteract any big shield play, but Monty is no longer here, so it might be a little bit of a wasted operator due to Legion's most recent nerfs.
Yeah, and on top of that, Arv is opting not to take the Blackbeard and attack Kitchen this time, but is instead going to pick up the IQ. And we talk about IQ as being one of the really vital operators to gadget denial, and with the exception of Smoke, all the other operators put their gadgets down and leave them there for an extended period of time, and Arv is going to have access to a lot of utility to tear through. Even those Evil Eyes are going to be able to spot out where those are and potentially use Shifty's lifeline to take them out early on in the round and not have to deal with them when it comes to the plant time or a 2v1 situation.
Yeah, and Maestro is one of those operators that you don't want to be going up against in maybe a 1v1 instance. He has a whole lot of intel being brought by his cameras that the rest of his team can make his pings on because they are protected and bulletproof, as well as he can switch onto those cameras, and we've already seen Osper use those lasers to full effect to claim the life of a Thermite. So definitely one of those operators that's really strong in coordination with a good team composition. We're seeing the rest of Akron trying to push in towards the second, maybe the third floor site, maybe do a top-down roam clear, maybe find exactly where Quinner is hiding. He's lurking away, gonna try to get some picks as he goes up brown stairs towards train area.
Yeah, it looks like Seaman is going to start to open the hatches onto third floor. They have a minute off the clock already as we're hitting the 1 minute 55 second mark. Arv is still contesting Osper on this kitchen prep area as Engine and Seaman look to be able to take most of third floor. But it looks like Quinner was sitting on that stairwell ready for anyone to come by. And this is going to be pretty vital here because taking down the gridlock and potentially the sledge will just put a huge wrench in the plans of Akron's push.
Yeah, and that will be most of the soft breach off the board. And if you are not able to get into that train area and blow a little bit of the floor, it is very hard to get those deep anchors out of Kitchen with all the angles that they can control, as well as just hold down and deny any sort of entry, just as Daddy Derek is most likely going to be trying to do over towards the bottom white Christmas area.
Yeah. With that hatch open, Quinner definitely heard someone drop, especially with those gridlock tracks coming out and the Legion. Quinner knows where they are. He's not going to push yet. You're going to show extreme patience here, not going for a kill. And it's going to opt to just hold that angle. Yeah, Irene does have a view there, and it looks like we could see... Nope. Seaman is going to get away, but Engine is going to take down Daddy Derek. And it looks like Quinner is in trouble. Quinner taking a lot of damage from Engine. Engine not able to get the kill quite yet, but is taken down by Big Bear on the roam with 30 seconds left. Akron has to do something in this 4v4 situation.
Yeah, and there's 25 seconds left, but they do have Diffuser in hand, and the rest of these attackers are going to have to funnel down into site as quickly as possible, as the Irene is stuck all the way on second floor here as Panographer gets another pick onto C-Man, as Shifty is peeking down white stairs and going to use this rotate hole to go straight into sight. However, he will meet the gun of Quinner, but will come out victorious as Arv also gets another pick onto Osper. It's all left up to Big Bear, and he is behind some players. Now as the clock does hit 0, he just needs to find whoever is planting, and he will do so to get the clutch for Sheridan and bring it to 3-1.
Yeah, and that's going to be nice for Sheridan there. Hitting that 3-1 mark is vital, but not only that, they have Bar Cocktail unlocked, and that they had a very strong round on. We have Big Bear sitting at 6 kills, 1 death so far, especially after that last clutch right there is doing a very good job for their team. We have some high kills coming out from players already as we go into round 4, sorry, I cannot count.
5.
No, it is round 5.
It is round 5. Trust yourself. Math isn't that bad.
Okay.
So I actually do want to just go ahead and say that was a actually amazing clutch coming from Big Bear. He was in a 1v3 instance and just was able to grab that round from the jaws of defeat as the diffuser was going down. The thermite was stuck in that plant animation. As soon as that clock does hit 0, the diffuser falls down to the planter dying. It does just spell the absolute end of the round, and that's what we saw this time. We're also going to see a very similar setup to the most recent success that we saw Sheridan do. They're going to be trying to trap these players going in towards top red once again, but I would like to see maybe some adjustment coming out of this University of Akron side. Maybe do more of a white side push, maybe try to get on those windows that we don't see utilized that often. Possibly pick out exactly where Osper was playing. He was playing over by Cocktail Heaven area. So maybe if you are able to get that pick, it does open up a lot of possibilities where you could just swing in those windows, or maybe you could drop Skylight if you're going to be able to pick off Panographer playing underneath there quite aggressively.
Yeah, they are going to be lacking frag grenades this round, though. After recent... No, Buck still has frags. Never mind, I'm thinking of the TTS. That is my bad. They still have the frags from Buck and the lifeline to take out that shield that was playing on the top of red. But, they're going to have to waste some utility and a lot of time taking down those castle barricades on Piano Room, as we see Arv slowly punching away the one by back alley.
Yep, and like I said earlier, those windows are going to be very important, as we did see they went ahead and opened up the Whitehall window. And that's why Big Bear has gone ahead and had to fall back on his position just that little bit, as Quinner's actually going to most likely get aggressive here, but he is being droned out. He was definitely thinking about jumping out that window to try to get any repellers, but it is not going to occur this time, as the first frag grenade does take out one of the Maestro cams, as Engine is using his utility quite effectively, as Daddy Derek also throws a Nitro, but it unfortunately will not connect on Engine, who is already long gone down towards the mid area of red stairs.
Yeah, Quinner is going for the flank, though, and that could be potentially deadly for this Akron push if they're not aware of it. Big Bear is going to hop through a rotation hole, opt to look out that window as more teammates swing in for Akron. They have to deal with that Evil Eye as Engine gets the first pick onto Daddy Derek. That Evil Eye is going to plague Akron until they get it out. They're going to need the Sophia to use the lifeline here. Engine on the first floor is trying to get some roam clear, but it's all they can do so far. As Quinner takes down Engine, that is going to be big for Quinner, taking out the only one on second floor for Akron.
As Panographer is going to get a little bit aggressive on a peek, but will be rewarded as Arv does fall. The rest of these attackers are stacked up inside a piano, and it does seem as if the walls are crashing up against him when it's dropped down into second floor, and possibly can go for a flank on red stairs as Seaman is peeking out towards the new drop area. Quinner has opted to just go up white and will try to protect these white stairs with Big Bear, who's just sitting downstairs down in freezers. Pornographer gets another kill onto C-Man on top red. Irene's pushing in and will also fall at the hand of Big Bear. Over the refrag will come out as Shifty takes him down, but he's in a 3v1 instance here. A little bit of Sister Rivalry is not going to connect as he's trying to find the Ella, but the Maestro will down him and finish out the round for Sheridan once again.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Sheridan is up 4-1 on, I believe, Akron's map. And granted, they are on defense, and we're paid to say that this is a defender-sided map, as with every map. But, you know, Akron wants to hit this 4-2 split. Winning 2 on attack puts you in a good position to get at least to a tie when you go on defense. And that's what they want to do, because there are no ties in playoffs. If we hit round 12 and at the end of it, it's 6-6, we go into overtime, where Akron will be attacking twice and Sheridan will be defending once. But we're not quite there yet. They're going to have to win this round so they can avoid being at a large 4-point round differential. And that's not where they want to be.
Yeah, if you're Sheridan, you definitely want this round, as this is most likely going to, if you win Reading Room once again, it's going to put you in the absolute driver's seats as you switch onto the attacking side. Having a 5-1 lead is definitely feels like it will be your game to lose, as opposed to Akron trying to win. You'll be in the absolute driver's seat, and you'll be trying to push forward and end this map as quickly as possible. We are most likely going to see a nearly identical setup, as the operators do seem to be the same on this side as we saw last time. There's going to be a whole lot of rotations being popped open with shotguns, as well as Pornographer being set up in that bench area we saw him protect so well last time around.
Yeah, and this is the site that they got the flawless round on
10 seconds to go.
earlier on round 3. And if they can repeat that, that's not only a round win, but huge momentum, getting a flawless round to end off the half of the first map of the night. That's what Sheridan's going to try to do here. As you said, they are going to have a very similar hold. We see Quinter putting down some ADSs in Cigar, so Pornographer can sit behind that shield, watching the rest of Piano Room and Cigar area. And that's going to be pretty vital. If they can't take him out, then Akron's going to have a really hard time winning this site.
Yeah, but we do have to say that there is a little bit more soft breach being brought from Akron, as they've made a little bit of adjustment. They brought the sledge and the buff this time with grenades, as well as the lifeline of Zofia that can help burn those ADSs away and expose Pornographer as he's sitting here. But speaking of exposed, Osprey exposed himself to the window just that little bit, and half of his health will be gone as retribution for his mistake here. However, he will just opt to go back to site and try to stay a little bit more safe over towards this train museum area. Masterfully just jiggling his way around, maybe trying to get a wall bang here, but nobody has quite gotten that much map control. The rest of these players are playing a little bit more passive here, except Arv, who's upside down rappel right on the site window, trying to find Quinter, but he will just escape without a scratch this time.
We're going to have Osper still in Train Museum, knows someone is right on the other side of the wall, sees the gun, shoots and takes down Shifty. Sheridan is all of a sudden up in operators. Akron is going to be forced to be mostly on the first floor. Seaman, however, is going to get the frag onto Daddy Derek, and that's going to help them a lot with that frag onto Fireplace site.
Yep, and so Quinter is going to be still sitting in sight. However, the rest of these attackers are piling up towards the bottom white staircase as Arv gets another pick onto Pornographer, and that's the Ella off the board, who's been quite the fragger this time around. They're now trying to force Osprey out of his position. He'll get aggressive and peek and will fall as a result. Arv is on a double kill this round. However, he does not have a whole lot of health left. Quinter and Big Bear are both holding nice long angles towards these attackers that are going to try to funnel in through the fireplace. However, it could spell disaster for them, as Quinter does go ahead and pick two Oz Engine and Arv fall at the hands of the Jaeger. This time it's back to a 2v2 instance. The diffuser still in their hand, as the default camera did manage to get some quick picks onto the players, as now Maestro will be using that Alda to try to pre-fire out as Irene does breach his way into sight. Quinter's still playing in there, and they might not know his exact location, but Seaman will find Big Bear out and leave Quinter in a 1v2 instance.
Yeah, Quinter's going to need to pick up a 4K for the round to get this. Is going to fire some shots, not going to connect enough to kill on both of them. It's going to be within one bullet. Is going to be caught reloading by Irene. Akron is going to win the round the round that they desperately needed going into this half. And with that, they're going to be the ones defending, and Sheridan's going to have to try to win this map out on attack.
Yeah, they're going to have to use their momentum going forward to try to get a couple rounds on attack, and it's not the easiest thing to do, especially when Sheridan is opting to go towards that third floor bar cocktail lounge area. It's definitely one of the most difficult sites to attack in this entire game, and especially when you have this operator lineup like this. I was going to comment on the Wamai, but Engine is just opting to go for the traditional Valkyrie pick here to try to get some extra intel for their team. We're seeing Panographer, Big Bear, and Quinner all putting up big numbers in the first half, as well as Engine and Arv definitely doing their job on the attack here, as actually Engine will be swapping onto the Goyo, which is going to act as a gigantic utility sponge towards these soft breachers such as Panographer and whoever was on the Zofia, which was Osper. All of those Vulcan shields are going to have to be destroyed with some sort of either the impact grenade of Zofia or just a traditional frag grenade of the Buck, because if you leave those Vulcan shields up and they do get destroyed, that fire spreads for about 10 seconds, can do a whole lot of damage, as well as right when they blow up, I believe they can take a full 50 health off any attacker unfortunate enough to be standing next to them.
Yeah, I mean, having 3 is the reason why Ubisoft is talking about, or on the TTS, has it lowered to 2, because a lot of, the higher up you go, especially once you hit collegiate level, that really plays into what we call like the 20-second meta, where teams are really waiting and pushing towards the last 20 seconds. And so in this instance, if Sheridan had 20 seconds left, you would just pop a Goyo at an area they were pushing, and all of a sudden they don't have time to push. It's the same theory as with why people pick smoke. You know, smoke is more deadly the longer the round goes on. The second the plant goes down, you can start smoking off where the plant is and where they're going to be going, and all of a sudden you have a lot of area denial you did not have before. As we get into the round, Panographer is going to be shooting up into heaven, just to get some pot shots through that window. Is Arvis prepping a C4 onto the roof?
And unfortunately, it will not connect, as that is quite an aggressive play, and that's a quick loss of utility for Arv. However, that Nitro could have spelled some quick danger if he was able to get down on the second floor as the round dwindled down, but it is now gone, leaving only the Goyo and the Mozzie still having Nitro. That might be just enough. Panographer is going to take some more pot shots over straight onto the hatch. He does seem to know Engine is playing in an aggressive position. He's playing really far pushed up and could be done in, but as we saw there with that perfectly placed frag grenade, Engine was forced all the way down to second floor. However, and Seaman is now dropping down onto the bottom white stairs, as Osper now does get a Goyo shield kill that we alluded to earlier onto Shifty, and that's the Jaeger being gone, as those shields can be used both ways. However, Arva will go ahead and get a refrag onto Daddy Derek, and that's the Capital gone this time.
Arv is going to be low, though, as looks like they're breaching into piano room, and that's going to be very vital for them as Big Bear pushes in, sees a dead body, and is going to opt to push up even further towards that bathroom area. Yeah, Irene sitting on the smoke is going to be holding this hallway with that Goyo shield and a shotgun, but going to have to contend against Big Bear, and I believe Osper is also pushing up towards that area, looking behind, making sure no one is flanking from red stairs.
Yep, and so the breach will be going in towards Freezer and allowing some interest in entry into sight, as Quinner gets another pick onto R from down beneath, playing the IQ with that powerful LMG. He might run into Seaman quite quickly, as they are lined up to meet this time, as Quinner gets another pick onto Engine and is gone for his second kill of the round. And now the Mozzie is laying in wait as the pings go out. He's going to swing and take down Quinner's Reign of Terror, but the diffuser has also been placed now, as it's a 2v3 retake situation. Some shots are going to go out towards the Zofia, sitting inside here as Panographer does take down Yrene, leaving it all up to the Mozzie, who will fall at the hand of Panographer.
Yeah, and with that, a double kill from Panographer is going to put them up to 5-2 for the round score. And they're 2 rounds away from winning this map. Sheridan only needs to win 2 of the next 5 rounds to get the round map win, and only 1 of the next 5 to push it into overtime at the very least. So they're in the danger zone, and Akron's going to have to contend against that. They just lost a very defendable site, and they're going to try it again. CDAPS, what do you think really went wrong, or went wrong for Akron, or right for Sheridan?
I think Sheridan was really able to. They had a very spread out attack, as I sort of have to think that Quinter was the biggest piece in that instance, as he went ahead and got those 2 first entries and really had to place those defenders onto the back foot here, as we actually are seeing a quick adjustment coming out from Akron, as they will opt to take the Wamai, who is now legal in playoffs. He was quarantined like the rest of us here in real life, but he was quarantined in our league to see exactly how his impact was going to be felt in the ranked map pool, as well as the competitive pool of possibly like Pro League and Challenger League. So now he is free and he is balanced in this instance. However, he will be playing very well with the Jaeger to try to minimize the impact of all of these throwable projectiles that Sheridan used last round.
And especially with the Zofia and the Fuse, that's going to come in handy. I'm interested to see how many teams in this playoff season overall really pick up Wamai and Kali, because although they are available, I don't know how many teams really opted to take them up, because we see a lot of some teams also talk about it with Echo, where Echo's banned a lot, and some operators that are banned a lot, some teams just don't really bother to play. So when they're available, they don't pick them. And it could be the case for Wamai and Cali. Teams haven't been playing with them all season, and they might not have bothered to make strats for them yet, and that's perfectly acceptable. But it looks like Akron does, as Engine is going to pick up that Wamai. Only 20 seconds-ish into the round. Now at 30, they are getting onto the roof and making some progress. They're going to be looking to open up those hatches with Shifty. On the second floor, roaming could be potentially deadly. However, that Fuse charge is going to go out on the red stairs, clearing out any utility that was placed there by Akron.
Yep, and so more Fuse charges are going to go ahead and blow away anybody that might have been sitting beneath hatch. However, for the Akron side, they're fortunate enough to not have been playing in those positions. They most likely would have been taken out quite easily at the hands of those cluster charges, as now Panographer is sitting onto the hat, or the big skylight that he was playing last time, as he will spot out the head of Arv, but it's not enough, as Arv takes a beautiful shot straight onto the head here and puts the first pick onto the side of Akron. Now they're in the driver's seat, as the rest of these attackers are going to have to try to get their refrag potential in, as Osper's now breaking in towards Piano area. Going to use his lifeline now to try to clear out the ADS, is protecting Engine on his pixel corner bench shield.
Osper is going to be firing some shots in a piano room as the rest of the team is pushing in, but Shifty has a nice position here by red stairs. Big Bear is going to be watching for the flank, could potentially take out the roamer, and does. Big Bear is going to take out Shifty, putting it back even for Sheridan on this push.
Yep, and so now we do have to say Engine is still in a very powerful position, but he will opt to just take his life in this instance, as Osper does push up quite aggressively. His timing was impeccable on his exit from that corner, so now he's opted to just go ahead and sit back towards the pallets area, as the rest of the breaching now allows a path in towards site. Smoke grenades of Irene are now falling to try to deny that default plant position, but the bullets of Irene are going to be a little bit more deadly, as Quinter now falls at the hands of the SMG-11. Daddy Derek does get a refrag onto Arv as he's pushing in towards site, but it is a 2v3 instance and not that much time left here. Teammate is actually below and has a nitro cell in hand, trying to get this player who's sitting over towards heaven. It's actually the Fuse in this instance. The nitro cell will not connect, unfortunately, this time, as now the Fuse has pushed up and the smoke grenades are going down, trying to help out a plant. Daddy Derek does get his second kill of the round, as the diffuser is now going, but the shotgun of the smoke is going to prove too fatal in this instant, as he picks up the double and gets a round onto the board for Akron.
Yeah, and with that, Akron closes the gap. They are now only down 2 rounds with 4 to go in the rest of the potential map before a potential overtime, and they're going to opt to go down to kitchen. We are going to see a very standardish lineup from Sheridan, but with the exception that we're going to see Hibana come out for the first time tonight on this map, unless they six-pick off of her, which could also be an option. We're going to have Smoke, Valkyrie, Mozzie, Jaeger, and Kaid make that castle instead of Valkyrie, as it looks like Akron has some castle strats up their sleeve for this kitchen site.
And Castle's definitely going to be a great pick, as his ballistic barriers are able to stop bullets as well as waste some time of the attackers, as they will most likely have to be using some sort of a breaching utensil to break them down, or just sit there for around 5 to 10 seconds punching it 12 times, which definitely is not the ideal situation. And speaking of ideal situation, it's going to be very difficult to get these electro claws off that Arv is going to be placing on both of the bakery wall as well as into that back freezer area, electrifying the hatch that most likely Osper wants to use his X-Cairo pellets to break open.
10 seconds left.
Going back to that castle, it's a really nice sixth pick coming out here from Engine, because looking at the lineup of Sheridan, they don't have Zofia. The only utility they have to break that open is waste X-Kairos on those, or use the frag grenades or the sledgehammer from the sledge, and that's going to prevent them from doing any sort of ranged breaching of those charges that the Zofia would usually provide. And not having those Zofia for one of the first times tonight by Sheridan, that's going to put a little bit of a hindrance on their push here. But despite that, we're going to have Osper going up towards the bakery roof, looking into Cigar Piano. And the rest of the team, looks like they're centering their push on the third floor, which is going to be pretty vital to clear that out before they make any sort of push towards the first floor bakery kitchen area.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a full top-down room clear from these Sheridan attackers, as we're seeing a lot of drone work coming in, as Big Bear is going to be pushing in his attackers and accompanying them with a whole lot of intel coming forward. Osprey's going to go ahead and take out the default camp, as it does seem to be a little bit safe because of Shifty's position downstairs as opposed to on the third floor. But now the drone of Osper will be going in towards a train, and they're going to try to pinpoint this location of the Jaeger. Is now actually the Capital is swinging in, and he will fall at the hands of Shifty as a beautiful headshot takes down Daddy Derek this time.
And that's going to be a good pick for them, as that's the Capital out. No more plant utility for them at the end of the round for Sheridan. Shifty sitting low, but sitting strong in mining room, has a nice position, could potentially catch one of the Sheridan operators out here. As Pornographer is going to be coming into train, but Shifty is going to fall back, just narrowly missing shots from that sledge in train room. Is going to opt to fall all the way back to kitchen bakery area, as looks like Sheridan is pretty much closing in on the area that Shifty had left.
Yep, and so now we are seeing Pornographer go ahead and do a little bit of DIY work and break this ceiling with his gigantic sledgehammer, trying to find anybody that might be just sitting in a corner on site and remove these anchors if he does choose to do so. However, Seaman is just coming straight up the back white stairs and might find a hole in these defenders to exploit, as now the Habana does fall at the hands of the Mozzie, and Arv will get a nitro cell onto Pornographer, leaving it all up to Big Bear and Quinner.
It looks like Akron has a nice chance to win this round, potentially get a flawless, but Quinner, one of the top frags of the team, along with Big Bear, another top frag on this map. They're going to be pushing for this 2v5 win here. They need everyone they can get. It's a round of 32 playoff match. They don't want to lose any round at all. Pings are going to go out. They know Yireena's there, but Engine is going to be taken down by Big Bear, or by Quinner. Sorry, Yireen did pick up Big Bear. All of a sudden, Quinner takes down Shifty. It's a 1v3 situation for Quinner on site, but is going to be taken down by Arv. UA is going to close the gap, sitting at 4-5 on defense, winning that kitchen first floor site.
Yeah, now we're going to be in a really unique instance where this tertiary bomb site, this third bomb site that Akron will be choosing, will most likely be Reading Room Dining, and it will offer them the opportunity to go ahead and tie this game up that they almost seem to be out of. They were down 5-2 at this instance, and being able to tie it up is definitely a momentum swing that we didn't necessarily see coming, as Sheridan did go ahead and just take their first attacking round, but seemed to have been slowed down just that little bit as Akron's strats have evolved, and they've sort of been able to mold exactly to how Sheridan has been playing thus far.
Engine is going to swap to the Wamai again. See, when I picked the second time of tonight, three players, sorry, Panographer, Quinner, and Arv are sitting at 10 kills, double digits already on round 10. For those of you that are not the best at math at home like me, that is over 1 kill a round on average so far, as we've played 9 rounds, and that's very strong coming out from those players for both their teams. And we're going to see those top fraggers come out even more as this is going to get down to the wire. It's only map 1 out of 2 or 3 maps. And if you're not excited yet, I don't know what would get you excited, because this is going to be some good siege right here. This round is everything on the line for Akron. If they don't win this round, they cannot prevent the overtime.
Yeah, so Sheridan, this is most likely going to be their do-or-die moment, as well as soon as they cross that 6-round threshold, they force at least overtime. And that does really give you a sort of sigh of relief. There becomes a lot less stress on the final rounds, as you know you just have to win one of them in that instance, as well as really puts Akron onto the back foot where they know they can no longer make any mistakes. However, with this new playoff rule set, there is overtime, which we have not been able to see during regular open league play. That's definitely something that's as exciting as it can get. That's definitely do or die for each map, and each map is so important in a best of 3 series. Here, as Quinner is now using his IQ gadget through the window to try to spot out any of those electronics here, we're seeing Shifty, Engine, and I believe Seaman all upstairs trying to hold down this piano and cocktail area to deny any soft breach, as well as really take away as much map control of Sheridan as possible.
Osper is going to be peeking in through the window behind that desk, behind the piano, sorry. It's going to launch some impacts from that X-Kairos. Sorry, Lifeline, not X-Kairos. Is going to try to take down as many ADSs and my magnets as possible. We do have Engine sitting in bathroom with a nice peek hole, as it looks like Sheridan is getting some decent control of the red stairwell area. However, Engine is going to put a little bit of an end to that, as Osper is going to be taken down by Engine. Photographer is going to respond by picking up Seaman. All of a sudden, it's back to even for these teams.
Yep, and so now all of third floor does seem to be in the control of Sheridan with about 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Pardon that, Engine has actually pushed up white stairs. We'll be trying to possibly get some sort of flank, if possible, to take out these attackers as they're pushing in, trying to do a little bit of soft breach work and set up their execute here. But actually, Photographer will seem to have a little bit of a sixth sense onto the locations here, as a nitro cell of Irene does not connect this instant. Here, as the drone will spot out the Wamai on top white stairs, he will be forced to fall back, but will go straight back up. And we'll be running into Quinner here, and will fall as a result of his aggression. So now Quinner is peeking over towards this hatch and might be able to catch out another player here, as he actually does, with a Shifty falling at the hands of that LMG once again. And Panographer does take down Yring, leaving it to a 1v4 clutch potential for Arv, as he does pick up one onto Daddy Derek, but will be instantly refragged out by Quinner, getting a triple for the round and showing that Sheridan is not quite out, and now they have crossed that 6-round threshold that we talked about recently.
Yeah, and now with that, they're guaranteed to push us into overtime if they win one of the next 2 rounds before we end round 12. Then Sheridan will take the first map for the win. If Akron wins the next 2 rounds, we're going to be going into overtime. And for those of you here who do not know how overtime works in CEA playoffs, it's going to be a best of 3 rounds with the first the first one attacks, and so on. So Akron will actually be having to attack and defend. Same with Sheridan. It's not going to be one side. We keep playing. It's going to be best of 3 with swapping rounds every time. And that's going to be interesting if we get there. However, we do have Bar Cocktail, and it's currently half and half. Sheridan has attacked this successfully once, and Akron has defended it once. It could go either way.
Yeah, and Cocktail is definitely one of those sites here, as Akron does have access to it this time. It is one of their bomb sites that they were able to win, so it does provide them the opportunity to go ahead and make this 6-5, and if they are able to do so, they'll be able to go back down to Kitchen, which they were able to win again quite handily. So this game might not be fully over, as Akron still is in a decent position to tie it up despite the score line here. We're seeing C-Man give some reinforcements downstairs. It's most likely he's going to be playing in that area, possibly trying to use that nitro cell he has in his pocket to full advantage, as these attackers did seem to really stack up inside the cigar lounge piano area quite for a long time.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
It's like we have a lot of stuff being opened here, especially by Irene using a lot of the shots. It's only going to put them down to about like seven shots left in that shotgun. That might be all they need though in a mag for them to get some kills here. 9, sorry, I cannot do math. That seems to be the theme of the night. We are going to have Sheridan already start out with a kill, picking up Arv. That's Sakai down right off the bat.
Yeah, and that's that angle that we've seen Panographer peeking so many times, where he opens up this window and is able to spot out the player playing in usually a very safe position on Heaven. However, that counter angle is quite powerful in the instance of now one of the anchors of Kaid is off the board, as well as I believe Arv is the #1 fragger on Akron this time. So now Sheridan is definitely on the front foot forward, but Osper will fall now to C-Man, getting a little bit aggressive on a hatch peek, and that's the Zofia being gone. So now these shields are going to be all that more difficult to remove with those ADSs and Wamai magnets protecting their life. But C-Man is now rotated all the way down into kitchen. He's sort of popping in and out on these stairwells, making his location very hard to pinpoint down. Engine is still playing in this pixel bench corner area and is definitely in a strong choke point here. It will make it very difficult to push in piano as long as he remains there.
Flashes are going to go out from the hatch near Cigar. Ooh, Daddy Derek did get inside sight, but Engine has something to say. Taking out the Capital of Sheridan. Has a nice angle here that could pick up Quinner, but Quinner is going to be going down to Engine as we predicted. It's going to be a 2v4 for Sheridan at a little bit of a disadvantage with a minute left, but they still have two very strong players here. As Panographer peeks around, takes down Engine. That is a 1-eye down with the double kill from Pun as they push in towards Freezer.
But we do have Shifty and C-Man both off-site in this instance. It's just Irene's trying to hold down the fort. Panographer has pushed all the way in and is sort of doing an army crawl here, trying to stay safe from multiple angles as he's going to peek in towards this player playing inside of Freezer. The initial shots will fail, but he will get the rest of it as he's going for his ace. Already has 3 on the round. The rest of these Akron attackers will now. Panographer actually gets the 4th here and has brought this from a 2v5 all the way back to a 2v4 this time, as now Big Bear is placing down the diffuser and will be protected by Panographer here as he does get his ace to finish the round, and it shows the entire map out for Sheridan.
And if that's not the perfect time to get the ace, that I don't know what is. Winning the last round, match point to get the ace from a 2v5 situation on your opponent's map, that is the ideal time. And with that, no overtime for that map. Cafe will go to Sheridan. Panographer picking up 17 kills. Insane amount.
Yeah, it almost seems like he has something to prove. He's got a little bit. Maybe he's got somebody in the audience watching that he's trying to flex. Maybe he's trying to impress someone special out there. But he definitely was able to show his stuff, and getting 17 kills on a map is a very good showing. But now we will take a 5-minute breaks to give both us casters a little time to catch our breath, as well as let any of these players talk it out, maybe get their strats ready for the next map, maybe go to the bathroom, maybe get a drink. But when we come back, we will be going to Consulate.
Welcome back, everybody, from our short intermission. If you missed us, we have Sheridan versus University of Akron Blue, and this is a great game. If you missed the very first map, we had Akron's Pick of Cafe, where Sheridan won 7-4 against Akron. Now we're going to go to Sheridan's map on Consulate. If Sheridan wins this, they win the night and move on to playoffs. If Akron wins this, then we go on to the decider map, which will be Bank. It's all stakes are on the table here for Akron. They have to win this map to not get eliminated from this round of 32 playoffs. And with that, we're going to go right into Consulate.
Yes, and this is Sheridan's map choice here, so they're definitely going to be a little bit more comfortable possibly than Akron on this side. However, they are starting on the attack, which is going to be more difficult to get your momentum going in. So now we are seeing Akron go ahead and take their first ban, taking the Blackbeard off the board. That's going to make it all that more difficult to hang on these windows here, which can definitely be insanely powerful positions onto that third floor bomb site of sort of that CEO area. And also the Thatcher being banned on Sheridan's side is going to make that basement bomb site a little bit more difficult to attack as well. It's going to cause a lot more vertical gameplay to be required if you want to get that breach down.
Yeah, I could definitely see Sheridan taking Maverick since they do not have the Thatcher, but they're going to take away the Echo from University of Akron, and that's a pretty strong operator for most of these sites, and not having Echo is definitely going to hurt Akron's ability to defend, but Akron is going to ban their last defender. They're actually going to ban Maestro, which was picked a lot by both sides. Not having him on the board is going to shake up the way both of these teams defend these sites. And with that, those are 4 bans: Blackbeard, Thatcher, Echo, and Maestro. And we are going on to round 1 of Consulate.
Yeah, and both of these operators on the defensive side, being Echo and Maestro, are your traditional final plant denial here, as they can just sit on their cams and kill or just stop any sort of diffusing. And both of those operators sort of fulfill a very similar role. Usually when Echo is banned, you see a lot more Maestro play. When Maestro's banned, you see a lot more Echo play. And most of the time you do have one of these defenders being an absolute staple in any sort of defensive composition. However, with both of these operators being gone, it's going to be a lot more different. It's going to be a very interesting way of trying to get your intel, which is why we are seeing the Valk being picked by Engine, as he sort of teased us with a little bit of possible Caviera hype play, but he will just opt to 6th pick onto the more traditional pick of Valkyrie. Gonna get those cameras out all over, have the Nitro Cell in pocket, and use that intel for the rest of his team's advantage.
They are going to try to put some Black Eye cameras in the console office cabinet, and that one is going to stick. Very nice spot. Is going to help them out late in the round when Sheridan tries to get that plant on the console office. We see C-Man here reinforcing that wall above the yellow stairwell by admin office. We do have an Alibi being played by Arv, and I don't believe Alibi has yet been picked in this series tonight. So we're seeing her coming out for the first time in the series. And also Nomad. Nomad was banned on the last map, so having that Nomad, Osper is going to be able to do some damage to the roamers for University of Akron.
I think more traditionally, the Nomad charges are going to be placed more towards preventing any sort of runouts here and protecting these window players possibly. And here we are seeing Arv on the Alibi sitting inside of admin area, which is very similar into Piano, as it is a gigantic choke point on the 3rd floor defense. However, the Alibi is going to be using those prismas, possibly placing them behind those desks, making it very difficult to pinpoint the exact location. When you have a fast-firing gun like the MX-4 Storm, it can be a very punishing, as we definitely know that gun goes real fast and can really just take out hordes of defenders or attackers if those shots do land.
We saw right there, Shifty was spotted by that drone. He's going to have to fall back. We do have Quinter on the IQ outside, trying to find any utility that is inside. It looks like Akron is putting most of their hold around this long desk area by that admin hallway. And so far, Sheridan has yet to do much to contest it. We have Arv and Engine on the 1st floor, trying to get some flanks potentially late round. But for the most part, Sheridan has to get some progress inside.
A bomb has been located.
Yeah, half the round is already gone, and there's not a whole lot of map control here, as Panographer and Arv are both taken down to within one shot of most guns after their initial engagements here. But now we are seeing Big Bear go ahead and swing straight in and taking the map control in conjunction with Osprey, who's gone ahead and flied straight in admin. Now we're seeing Daddy Derek go ahead and break open above this meeting room projector wall as Arv gets the first pick onto Panographer.
Yeah, that's the top frag for Sheridan down, and that's going to hurt them. Flashes are going to come out from Daddy Derek, though, pushing up through long desk with Quinner, roning it out for the teammates. But, you know, with, looks like that asphyxiation bolt is going to go up from above and take down Yrene. Not going to be able to escape. However, lots of kills went down. Quinner took down ours, and Seaman and Yrene took down 2 others. It's now just down to Osper and Daddy Derek to get this round for Sheridan.
And the diffuser is on the ground, however, it will be within an arm's reach as now Daddy Derek does go ahead and pick it up, and he's going to try to use the smokes that he just did to maybe push into sight. Will actually opt to go ahead and rotate straight inside of long desk. Going to use more smokes here as he pushes up, tries to take some more map control, but it could spell disaster as Engine is still sitting below with a nitro cell in hand.
Looks like Osper is aware this is going to push in, is actually going to take down Engine, but is going to be down in the not going to be down the process. Shifty took down Daddy Derek. It's all up to Osper. 3 seconds left. Does not have control of the diffuser. It looks like this is a win for Akron. Akron winning their first defense on this map. Definitely a solid start by them.
Yeah, that's the exact lead that Akron was envisioning, and that's exactly what they wanted here as they take the first round on Sheridan's map, as well as the kills being spread quite evenly here, as everybody except Engine was able to get a kill in that instance, and he also did have the opportunity for the team ace, but he was not able to land enough shots on Osper entering downstairs in the circle desk. But now we will see the rest of these defenders going straight downstairs into the cafeteria garage. Oh, actually, Mira's still on the board. That's quite an interesting pick, as Yrene will be opting to take the Spaniard, who will be bringing those black mirrors here that allow a really big peeker's advantage on these defenders, as the clear glass is bulletproof and also visible from one side, allowing some long angles to be opened up where these defenders can get a lot of intel and possibly swing onto these positions with their crosshair already lined up onto an attacker.
What I think we should watch out for, not in this round, but in the future rounds on this site, especially when we switch sides. We saw Akron play Wamai on the previous map. So it looks like they do have some practice with the new operators that came out in Operation Shifting Tides. And with Thatcher down, I'd really be interested to see if Akron opts to pick Cali for their replacement Thatcher. And they could. I'd be interested if this could be the first time I see Cali played as CEA. Could be on this map. And that would be definitely interesting, seeing a new operator in her dynamics on a site that we pretty much haven't seen her played on before in CEA.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the first legal pick of Cali. We have seen some blunders from some teams not being able to get a pick and being auto-picked onto the illegal operator, but now she is unquarantined and can be brought, as we are seeing Arv try a spawn peek over towards that spawn. However, the attacker that is sitting there is just opting to get some drone work done and help his team push forward on this 3rd floor.
Looks like most of them have control of Vista Office. Ooh, Seaman is in a bad spot with that air jab going down. Seaman really can't move from there. If he moves at all, he's going to be hit by that air jab and is going to be spotted out. Holding a very tight angle could potentially take out one of the operators from Sheridan in that room, but nothing yet, as Panographer is going to take down Arv.
It's an interesting location for him not to just go ahead and shoot that air jab, as he does see that giant yellow glob sitting right next to him, but he might not. He might lack the critical information of its exact location here, but it is making the noise here. Oh, he's actually does know, but he's just trying to stay a little bit stealthy here as he shoots it, but it still goes off as he didn't move, unfortunately. So now Arv has been taken down on the Akron side, leaving it to a 4v5 instance, but a minute and 30 is already wasted away as Quinner now finally does get the pick onto Seaman, and that's all the roamers down on the Akron side. So now the rest of the Sheridan attackers are going to be trying to force out Shifty sitting inside a bathroom, as he will fall now to Daddy Derek, using his Capital bolts to full effect, forcing the Jaeger to get into a compromised position, and he did expose himself. Now it's a 5v2, mark that a 4v2 as Irene gets a pick onto Hanographer, as now it's just left up to the Cade and Mira this time. There's still 50 seconds left for them to work with, and they're going to definitely have to hold down this site as well as possible, especially with Big Bear and Osper using both all of their utility to break open a path directly into site, as the rest of these attackers are pushed up inside of Piano, trying to get some nice soft breach in. Now Irene will fall as Engine gets a frag onto Daddy Derek, with Osper finally picking it up and taking a round for Sheridan College.
With that, Sheridan is going to tie up the round score, only 1-1, still pretty early, but taking Cafe Garage on the attack without Thatcher is definitely a very nice feat, especially since they did not have Callie or Maverick to help them get in there. With that, we're going to go back to Cafe Garage. Akron going to opt to take it a second time in a row, seeing if they can potentially win this one out. Regardless of the effects of this round, they're going to have console meeting unlocked after this, so they will most likely go back up there. Engine picking up the Wamai, another new pick coming out on this map.
Yep, and so we're seeing this Wamai is most likely going to be trying to help out Mira or whoever is sitting upstairs inside of a bathroom, because that bathroom area is a very strong position that sort of denies any entry towards that piano area. And that's exactly where Panographer and Winner are going to be trying to make their attack towards, as both the soft breach and the IQ's main job is going to be trying to get this Electro Claw off the wall and allow Big Bear into breach. I think the Wamai is being brought in response to Daddy Derek's Capital play. That's where Wamai really stands and sets himself apart from Jaeger. It's his ability of the magnets to actually deny the Capital bolts here, as those fire bolts and the smokes will be caught by the magnet, and they will not land and will not detonate in the exact location that the Capital may desire.
That's going to be a really nice interaction that they're going to have here on the side of Akron. That is what has so far every round they've lost an operator to some effect, the asphyxiation bolts coming out from Daddy Derek. So being able to deny those is going to put them potentially an operator up of what they had before. We're going to see here, Pornographer is already on the second floor admin office, but Seaman is all the way upstairs near the waiting room. We could see an early clash here from the Roamer and Sheridan. We can only wait and see, as looks like he is going to peek a long angle. It's like Pornographer did not quite see the little elbow peeking out, but is going to opt to run, and Daddy Derek from the window is going to take down Seaman. The Roamer already down a minute into the game.
Yep, and that's been Sheridan's strong suit, has been their roam clear thus far. We saw last round as they were able to do it flawlessly and take out all of the roamers before they even pushed into sight, giving themselves both a man advantage, and they got all of the map control they needed within a timely fashion. Now seeing Seaman fall before the 2-minute mark is definitely not a good look for Akron here, but they can definitely push back depending on how strong Shifty is able to hold on to his position inside a bathroom.
This bathroom spot is going to be pretty critical. As you said, they can eat a lot of the clock on the side of Sheridan. If Sheridan doesn't push here very quickly, Shifty is taking some fire. Daddy Derek is going to fire a bolt, and it is going to go off, but Shifty is going to take some of the fallout from that, opting to rotate all the way back down. And it looks like Akron lost control of most of first floor. Sheridan has a chance to push, but with a minute left, that C4 is going to go out, not going to connect, and Akron is stuck on site.
Yeah, and Daddy Derek actually absolutely threaded the needle as he put that asphyxiation through a bullet hole, I believe, and was able to put it through 2 straight floors, definitely massively using of that. Wow, that is a great shot in from Engine, as his location did allow him to go ahead and take one of those thermite charges off the board, as now one of those magnets are going to take away the flash grenade of Daddy Derek as he's trying to push down yellow. Now we're seeing some breaching and soft breaching happening over towards a piano as Quinner has not gotten the wow. Arv swings out in an aggressive manner and takes down Daddy Derek, but the Electric Claw will fall, allowing Big Bear to go ahead and breach straight into sight. However, Arv is in a still strong position as he can oppose this straight run in as Irene takes off Panographer, and Arv gets another pick onto Osper. He goes absolutely crazy again as his third kill falls onto Big Bear, but he is refragged out by Quinner, but not quite enough time left as Engine will get the refrag and take another round for Akron.
That's going to keep us going back and forth. Akron winning a round, Sheridan winning a round, and Akron winning round number 3. We're going to round number 4 now, and it looks like we're going to go back to second floor console meeting office. And this is going to be a pretty big round because Akron can solidify their lead to 3-1 here, which will be a very nice 2-round lead if they can win this for a second time. It did get a little close on the first round, but Akron managed to pull away halfway through that round. They're going to break the castle this time and the Vigil, but with IQ played by Quinner on the board, that Vigil could be in a lot of danger.
Yeah, if Arv is caught using his drone denial cloak, I guess cloak is the proper term, he can be seen through walls if Quinner is fortunate enough to get a glimpse on him while on the IQ scanner. Sort of a very similar interaction as we see with IQ and Pulse that we talked about on piano and sort of piano room on cafe last time. So I do actually like the castle pick this time, but it is swapped off for the Valkyrie once again, sort of teasing us with a little bit of Caster's Curse. Whenever we want to talk about something, it usually does change.
That's very true. It happens a lot. Happens to me all the time, especially when it comes to mathematics and operator picks. We do see that hole coming up here between the meeting room and long desk. That's going to be a nice common rotation as that hatch is also going to be blown. It looks like they're really trying to get some mobility here on the west side of second floor across from admin office. Speaking of admin, looks like Arv is going to try to get a nice spawn peek from admin office. Not sure if that drone saw it, but Arv is going to take the risk very early on. Looks like there might not be anyone for them to see. Osper is going to take the shots, not going to connect. As Arv is going to go very far away, not gaining anything at all from that spawn peek.
Yeah, besides a little bit of fear instilled into the attackers, it didn't accomplish a whole lot. But that is the point of the Vigil, is as soon as you see those lines on the drones, it does instill a bit of fear as you don't know his exact location. And as a roamer, we're seeing Arv just sort of gonna go downstairs and try to cause some mayhem on these attackers that might enter down from below.
Shifty is going to be on that long desk hallway as we see Winner on the first floor, outside the first floor, looking for some utility. We did see one of the Sheridan attackers already swing into admin office. A lot going on, but not a lot of gunfights. Map control is slowly being taken by Sheridan on this third floor where they desperately need it.
Yep, and so the rest of Quinner's utility will be trying to go through this wall and maybe find out an ADS, maybe some sort of outcams if possible. But Panographer is getting into a good position as he opens up a little bit of a line of sight towards that projector door. So now he's pushing in, probably going to use that big old hammer to take out that barbed wire that could lead a little bit of a sound cue in towards the rest of the defenders. Will possibly put out his location as Big Bear is now breaching another long angle on the printer wall that could allow him to breach sight and make that smoke sweat a little bit as the reinforced wall behind him does blow open. Arv will now get the opening pick onto Osper, but he will take a lot of damage for that. Might take that all of his life away as Quinner refrags out, and Shifty does get a pick onto Panographer once again.
We see Big Bear here peeking down long desk towards Spiral Stairwell. Quinner is all the way by Tellers on first floor, and Daddy Derek is firing another asphyxiation bolt from that outside balcony. The pushes are coming in, but Akron up an operator is going to have a slight advantage here as Daddy Derek shoots through that table, not connecting any shots yet. Darian is going to come in for assistance, going to be firing down Long desk hallway, not going to connect. It seems as if Big Bear, the only option is to push in, but is taken down by Shifty with the double kill. It's all up to the last two is Quinner. Takes down Engine. Time is running out. Only 50 seconds left in the round as Daddy Derek is taken down point blank by Seaman. It's all up to Quinner. It's going to the triple kill going down to Yaireen. That's going to need an ace to win out this round with only 5 seconds left. Can he do it? Takes down Seaman. Only one left and is not going to find the last one. Just barely misses it in bathroom. Akron is going to row their lead by another round, putting them up 3-1 on this map.
And that right there is why we say time is always in the favor of the defenders, as the Realm of Arv did kill quite a bit of time, as well as killed one of the attackers here, as Osper did fall. And it just seemed as if Quinner just didn't have quite enough time to finish out that clutch. He was very close and possibly could have won that gunfight on the Jaeger, but once the clock hits 0, if the diffuser's not going down, the round ends and it goes into the favor of the defenders.
Definitely a good round. Came down to the wire, quite literally. Very close from Quinner, though. Getting that 4K. Definitely still good showing, despite not being able to clutch out the round in that last 1v1 with 2 seconds left. But, we're going down to lobby press room, first floor, and that is a very, very interesting site. One of the sites is literally a huge doorway to the exterior front yard. And that's going to be where most of this action is either centered around, or teams could just ignore it. It depends. We see either or, but the fact that Arv is picking up the dock with the MP5 ACOG, that's going to show that they're looking to prevent as many peeks from that outside as they can.
Yeah, I'm most likely going to see a very heavy upstairs hold, as Engine is already up there giving some reinforcements to a player most likely playing inside that projector room area. As the rest of there is some long lines of sights you can open up through the floor that peek directly into that doorway that goes straight into sight. It can really spell some death from above if you are not aware of the floor angles being opened. So now Quinner and Osper will be going in towards this north side gas station area, making sure that they aren't getting spawn peeked, being a little bit more cautious here as the first air jab does go out, trying to stop any sort of yellow run out.
Spawning back there is really nice because it's harder to spawn peek than spawning at the front. That front door is closed, so Akron isn't going to try anything funny quite yet. But Arv is second floor, and that could be potentially deadly. Is going to get droned out, though. Sheridan does know where he is. As Daddy Derek punches into Visa office, it looks like they're just going to try to push in from all sides, as Quinner is all the way up on CEO second floor.
Yep, and so just like I said, there's going to be a whole lot of presence upstairs, as well as Shifty playing in bathroom once again with the mirror. They're both taking turns on a window, and they're going to be trying to use those lines of sights they've created to protect both bomb sites in one fell swoop. As now Mozzie will take out a drone and alert his position that he is on yellow, as Quinner's going to open up an angle and try to find out. However, Seaman is long gone in this instance. Now, however, there is still 2 roamers upstairs with Engine and Arv sitting upstairs trying to hold this map control as much as possible. There's already been a minute and 15 seconds left off the board, so they're definitely doing their job this time.
Engine is, as you said, doing very good at holding that. As I say that, Phonographer takes him down, but not after wasting a minute and a half off Sheridan's clock. We do see some of the attackers are getting spotted now by some cams from Akron. Is Osper and company looking to go down, but Arv has something to say, taking down Osper. Nomad is off the board. All of a sudden, it's back at a 4v4 for both of these teams with a minute and 10 left in the round.
Yep, Arv is still in a very powerful position, and his position is definitely going to be lingering in the back of the mind of the rest of these Sheridan attackers. However, the Capital Bolts are going to make a plant possible, as now a fire is going to stop the rotations. Pornographer does take out Arv finally. Here's Quinner now does get a pick from the hatch above, and it's all left up to Yaireen and Shifty. Yaireen will go ahead and down Daddy Derek, and will take some more shots over towards Pornographer, but he's going to choose his life in this instance, as Yaireen is quite lit in this instance. So now Shifty does finish off at Big Bear, and it's essentially a 2v2 in this instance, minus that a 2v1, because Daddy Derek is still on the ground. However, he can act as sort of a meat shield drone in his down state, but Shifty will mark the end of that. But Winner will mark the end of Shifty's life as a nice angle from the top of spiral stairs, or actually those floor angles we talked about were what was used as Winner takes a round back in for Sheridan.
Yeah, they're going to close the gap there. Now 2-3. We talk a lot here about the classic 2-4 split for attackers. Winning 2 of the 6 on attack is not necessarily a bad thing, especially on a map like Consulate, but every round counts. We're going to go back to Garage Cafe, and this is a site that Sheridan has won and lost once for each. So, as it always is, it could go either way, and if Quinner keeps it up, currently sitting at 10-2, we can see Akron lose the site, putting them at 3-3 at the end of the half, which is not where Akron wants to be.
Yeah, going into a 3-3 attack, I mean, sure, some people do like to say that Consulate is sort of a mixed sided. It can go attacker sided, it can go defender sided based on bans. But I think with these bans, it is sort of going towards neutral, as the Echo and Meister ban are definitely going to make it a lot harder to defend, but it is going to be a lot harder to attack with the Blackbeard and Thatcher off the board. However, Sheridan has been doing a good job thus far, still getting the breaches open that they want to, and being able to use these windows with, I believe the Nomad has been playing them quite well, using those air jabs to prevent any funny business that the defenders might try to run out on. We're also seeing the Wamai and Jaeger and the Mozzie Cade Mira combination that we saw for Akron once again, as they're going to be using these Mira windows to hold down the bathroom area once again, trying to make sure that these Capital bolts can't spell disaster for, usually it's been Shifty sitting inside bathroom in a very high traffic, very highly contested area.
Yeah, it's the last round of the half. This is the last time that a team could potentially defend this site for the rest of the season. And they're going to put everything they have into it, as they have been every round. We're going to see a rotation come out from Irene between that work office and cafe, and then cafe to white truck area of garage. We're going to see someone holding bathroom again. It looks like Akron really likes this hold. The Wamai has a backnet or two in there to aid against the Capital, but it'd be better for them if they can take him out right away, as it looks like Sheridan is pushing into Visa with Osper droning in.
Yep, and so it does seem as if it's going to be another full top-down roam clear from Sheridan once again. We've seen most of their attacks follow suit in this fashion, as they want to clear out these roamers as quickly as possible and make sure that they can't get these late flanks that can spell disaster as you're trying to execute. Arv does have a little bit of a hole opened here, as he might toss his either Nitro Cell or his Electroclaw up in there to maybe get a hatch deny here. But now Nomad is going to peek in and go ahead and make sure that nobody can go on this rotation. But Arv will just go ahead and tank the first Nomad charge, but will take a little bit of damage as the bullets of Osper connect just a little bit.
Osper going to be put down a little bit too in that exchange. Big Bear is going to be firing in, opening that doorway onto the exit stairwell, as it looks like Sheridan is making some decent progress getting towards site. Doesn't look like they're having too much resistance from any roamers at all. There are still Akron defenders in bathroom though. Shifty is going to be pushed into one of the stalls. Is in kind of a poopy situation here, as he is going to be taken down by Daddy Derek. All of a sudden, Seaman responds by taking down Osprey. It's back into 4v4. Seaman dropping back onto site. All Akron has to do is hold for the next minute and 5.
Yeah, but with piano control in the favor of the attackers, they can start. Wow, that's a great angle, as Big Bear does utilize the drone hole, not for droning, but for fragging, as the 5.569 of the Thermite manages to take down the player beneath, as Phonographer also gets on the board, taking out Engine, who using some nice breaching now to open up lines of sight, as Daddy Derek pushes down yellow and will start and execute. It's all left up to the Mira and the Cade, who are holding opposite sides of the map, trying to utilize their positions to stop any entry to sight. With the breach going on, it's going to be a very difficult situation for this Mira to hold, as now the Arv on Cade is going to take a whole lot of damage, as now a Capital Bolt does go ahead and down him and will finish him as well. So now it's a 1v4 situation with the diffuser going down, as Yrene's taking some shots towards him, and Daddy Derek will finish up the round and take down Yrene and tie up the half for Sheridan.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. If you're Sheridan, you're sitting there. It's your map. You just went 3-3 on attack. Now all you have to do is win 4 of the 6 defenses, which is not the most impossible thing to do in the world. So you're Sheridan now. You're sitting here thinking that you can definitely do this. You can close out this series right here before we even think about getting to bank. And that's what they want to do. They're going to start off going back to Cafe Garage. It's going to be the 4th time we've seen this site. But teams have switched. We're going to have Sheridan defending and Akron attacking on basement.
And this interaction between the Cade and Habana could be potentially really in favor of the defenders in this instance if Engine is not able to properly, or if Osper, pardon me, is going to choose to juggle his Kaid charge. The timings in the difference between the Habana pellets taking a little bit more time to explode as opposed to a thermite exothermic charge, it actually does leave a little bit of a window where an electric claw can be thrown onto the wall and destroy those pellets in a similar fashion to how a bandit tricker might be able to stop any sort of breaching as well. However, most likely, the Kaid will just be using his electric claws to shut down any hatch attempts, as this attack most likely will be coming full top down, and once you relinquish any sort of piano control, it's very easy for operators such as Arv on the Buck and Engine on the IQ to use those soft floors above to sort of use their gadgets to remove other gadgets.
5 seconds remaining.
Unfortunately, my prediction was wrong. We did not see Cali be brought by Akron yet, but that does not mean they're down for the count on that pick. That could prove me potentially right. Looks like we have Pornographer here trying to put a nice angle onto the piano room windows. That's the correct word there, as Quinter is going to open up the balcony windows, potentially signaling a run out later. Going to have a little bit of time taken off, as Shifty is going to have to look out for that for just a minute, potentially wasting an air jab up there.
Actually, I believe that angle that we saw Pornographer make underneath that bench, if you play it on one of those sides, you can actually look into the yellow doorway into piano, which is usually one of those safe locations that attackers will want to try to take piano from, but it could prove deadly for them, as now Quinter has tanked one air jab away, and maybe he's trying to get his second one here, as he's taking a whole lot of utility off the board, as Shifty is now 2 air jabs down, only 1 remaining.
I mean, all Quinter had to do was open up those 2 windows. All of a sudden, 2 air jabs are down. A minute is off the clock, and Shifty's still sitting there looking at the balcony. At some point, Akron has to ask themselves, when do we just leave him and try to deal with him later? And Quinter trying to go for runouts now, going a minute and almost a half without doing anything aggressive at all. All of a sudden, Quinter has wasted so much time off of Akron. They're going to have to recover from that. It's still a 5-5 with a minute and a half left. They don't even have control of piano, as Pornographer is going to be put into firefight. Quinter, however, will finally fall to Seaman, and Seaman's going to get the nice double onto Pornographer. All of a sudden, that time that they had lost, they have got back. They are in a better position than they were 20 seconds.
Now, with one of those hatches being soft, there is entry into sight as Osper goes ahead and takes out a player with a Nitro Cell, but Seaman will be getting his triple kill as Daddy Derek on the Alibi does fall, leaving it all up to Big Bear and Osper sitting on sight. Some soft breaching is going down as Seaman is using his lifeline to full effect. However, we are seeing Osper try to use those holes as little double-edged swords. However, now the hatch directly into sight, he is gone, and players can just drop straight into it, as Big Bear does use the MPX to take down Arv to the downed but not out state. He smells the blood in the water, is going to be trying to push back and stop these attackers going in on more of a backside push as opposed to a traditional push. Now Zofia will actually be down to through the floor, but will use her hidden ability of withstanding back down to a 5 HP, I believe, state here, as now Arv will get his comeuppance onto Big Bear and leave it all up to Osper.
Osper sitting in a 1v4 situation at full health is going to see someone on stairs, going to miss a shot. Seaman's going to get away with their life just barely. Is going to be looking towards kitchen, going to miss those 2. Pulling out the secondary, is going to peek around right truck, and is going to be taken down by Arv. Akron is going to win their first attack round in this half, putting them up 4-3. And that's a good round to win if you're Akron.
Yeah, you're definitely showing that you're just as capable on attacking as you were defending. They don't want to go down without a fight, and they do have their backs against the wall just a little bit, as this is a must-win map for them to keep their playoffs hope alive. As now we will see Sheridan College going upstairs this time, opting to defend the second floor console and meeting room bomb sites. This time deciding to bring a Doc, most likely going to try to hold some long angles with that MP5 ACOG that we see, as well as a very similar lineup coming from Akron, minus having the Ash as opposed to a Buck this time.
Speaking of that, we're going to have a little bit of a cast of CORSAIRs. Doc is going to be 6th pick onto Wamai, and we're going to have Capital come out from C-Man. Going to give Sheridan a little bit of their own medicine here. Capital going to be picked up. Could be potentially deadly, but as we've talked about before, that interaction with Wamai is definitely an interesting one. Is he's pretty much the only one that can deny Capital his utility.
Yeah, and it's sort of a fortunate 6th pick for Osper here, as he did pick the Wamai, as C-Man did 6th pick the Capital. That's sort of maybe an unlucky for, it's either a lucky view from Osper's side, or unlucky for C-Man, depending on your exact views, maybe which team you're rooting for. However, we are going to most likely be seeing a strong admin hold, as Nogver is going to be using his pest to deny any drones towards that gigantic choke point room, as well as Big Bear's most likely going to be putting in a Vault camera there to try to give some intel, as well as throwing one outside to get more intel as well.
Big Bear going to show us a nice view of the city there. A little bit of skyscrapers as that black eye goes out. Some angles here from C-Man coming out. Just checking those windows. Looks like Engine already picks up one of the black eyes off the board pretty early. Winner is 1st floor near the lobby area. Gonna look for some early picks as Osper is watching that exit stairwell.
Yeah, he's going to be definitely holding yellow, which is also a very powerful position, especially with a Wamai. He gets more and more magnets as the rounds go on, and it's going to be increasingly more difficult to use your utility to push him out of that area. As Quinn gets the first pick onto Arv, taking the Ash away and getting the first entry kill on to Sheridan's side. So now they are in a 5v4 sort of advantageous position with a third of the round already gone. Shifty has taken a good amount of HP too, as Daddy Derek's sort of getting dwindled down to around 50 HP.
Yeah, that asphyxiation bolt is going to put Daddy Derek in a pretty bad spot. Winner, however, is in a nice spot. Very deep roam. Could get some nice flanks later in the round, but as for now, it looks like Daddy Derek is pretty much pinned. Is going to need some help from their teammates. It looks like Osper is getting a little bit of help to Daddy, throwing that magnet towards that site.
Yep, and that magnet could help him survive another Capital bolt. However, the flashbangs will be utilizing that utility and putting that gone. As now some quick peeks were coming in, and Quinner does take about 50% damage here, as some more drones are going down towards a long desk, possibly spelling a more traditional admin take here for the attackers.
I mean, with Shifty rolling into admin, I tend to agree with you here. They're pushing from long desk. You're trying to get some nice angles. There is someone waiting at the end. Osprey's behind that shield. But those X-Karos are going down. They're going to have to kill that as Osper takes down most of them, potentially getting all of them. That's going to be very helpful, as Daddy Derek is going to have their back mostly covered. It's like Irena's going to go for round 2 on the X-Karos, as C-Man is going to push up, but is going to be taken down by Osper. Osper doing a great job for the team in this situation, but Irena's going to respond by taking down Daddy Derek. Engine picking up Big Beards now 3v3 with 30 seconds left.
Yep, and so there's is a lot of damage on the side of the attackers. However, they are pushed quite close to site. However, Osper is most likely going to be trying to deny that, as he has a really deep angle that he utilizes perfectly to take down Irene and drop the diffuser onto the ground. As now Engine does finally see that angle here, as Osper gets another one onto Shifty and is going to keep on watching that door. However, Engine is already in, and a flurry of defenders are going to peek him aggressively and take him off the board and take the round for Sheridan College.
This is an insane back and forth match here. This entire half has been a round win and then a round win for both teams. 4-4. We're getting pretty close. No team has so far seemed to be stronger than one another on this map. And that's going to potentially push us into our first overtime for the series. We are going to see Ash come out from Arv. We're going to see Bandit come out from Osper. This is going to be a pretty hard Cafe Garage hold to attack. on the side of Akron.
Yeah, Daddy Derek actually six picking as I was going to talk about his mute choice. He will be opting to take the Vigil again, most likely going to be roaming with Panographer and Quinner here, trying to waste as much time as possible and protect that piano room with those bandit batteries lingering below, denying the breach that the thermite will try to open desperately. So this is going to be one of those rounds that is going to define the rest of this map. It's just been gut punch after gut punch, as neither of these teams have been able to quite break the seal and get any sort of deep momentum on these rounds. No team has been able to string more than a couple together, and this is going to be where the sort of mental fortitude of either sides is going to have to rise above. And we're seeing Osper gonna possibly be roaming here, but actually will most likely just be reinforcing these vital hatches and making sure that these attackers don't have easy access to site.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking a second ago about momentum, and on the first map, we saw Sheridan win. After losing the first round on Cafe, they won 4 in a row. But on here, both teams have only won 2 in a row max, and that was before the half. So no team really has a momentum going here at all. Sure, Sheridan has the benefit of being a map up on Akron, but neither of them is really in the lead on this map. And this is going to be the round, as you said, to make it or break it for either team. This could put them in a position to sweep and win the map, or potentially the series if you are Sheridan.
Now the drones are going to spot out the Vigil, but his cloak will go ahead and hide his position, as Arv is getting quite aggressive on the Ash, showing why this 3-speed operator is usually picked for a entry fragger role, as he has fallen all the way back to Visa office, as the rest of the attackers are just sort of holding his possible rotation, as now Arv is just going into piano, and piano control is now in the hands of the attackers, but not for long, as Panographer goes ahead and uses that pre-opened hatch to take a lot of damage, actually only 25% damage, onto Arv, as he will be using his flashbangs to burn away these ADSs on yellow stairs.
It looks like Irene is going to get that garage wall open. Osper was not in a position to put any shock wire down, and that's going to be unfortunate for them, because now Akron has some angles onto site. Panographer is going to be coming down that yellow stairwell, though, looking outside, but so far nothing has really happened in terms of deaths for either team. As I'm in the middle saying that, Panographer takes down Engine on the roam and press room. All of a sudden, C-Man is also injured too. Isn't looking too good. Gonna try to withstand, but could be taken down by any nearby roamer.
Yeah, and speaking of roamers, Quinner has gone ahead and gone back to site. He's decided he's killed enough time and done enough damage, as we're seeing Arv on an upside down rappel, trying to see if anybody gets slightly too aggressive, as we just saw Daddy Derek do thus far. Quinner has actually gone all the way back upstairs and will be trying to get a little bit of a flank once again, possibly on C-Man sitting inside a piano, as he is already quite lit.
With only 50 seconds left in the round, we see Quinner, the outline there, all the way up in lobby. Definitely going to be a very strong late roam game, but is going to take down C-Man. Already at low HP, C-Man is going to fall. All of a sudden, now it's a 5v4 situation. Make that a 4v2 as Arv takes down Big Bear, but Osper gets the refrag right away with the C4. Also, 1 is down, 2 are down. All of a sudden, Sheridan gets their second round win in a row on Garage.
Yeah, but that's a statement win, as all these roamers were able to definitely do their jobs. They got their necessary picks, and were still able to go back to site safely. That's where I would have liked to see the Nomad possibly get some more rotation cutting air jabs. But I do not know exactly how many he had left in his pocket, or maybe he used his air jabs to stop runouts in this instance. But now we're going to be seeing Sheridan try their hand at defending the first floor lobby press room.
This is going to be interesting. We saw them win on attack. Now, if Akron wins this, they need to win this, because all of a sudden, Sheridan, let's say Sheridan wins this round. Now they force an overtime. And if you're Akron, you don't want to go into overtime on the opponent's map, because that's worst case scenario when you're already down a map. But these teams are trying to get into the round of 16 after this round of 32 and make their way potentially into Invite League. And that's where these teams want to be. Akron absolutely has to win this round if they want a safe shot at continuing and putting this to map 3.
Yeah, and speaking of that, if Sheridan is able to, or despite the result of this round, they will be going back most likely to the second floor site that they've defended successfully, as well as also opening up basement once again for the final round if possible here, as the rest of these attackers are going to be trying most likely to take top floor site. It seems as if players such as Quinter, Osper, and Big Bear are going to try their hand at denying this.
Iron Quitter is big kill of the game here, already sitting at 13 on round 10. Very good numbers coming out. 12, sorry, on round 10. Definitely still good numbers coming out from both teams. A lot of frags coming out from players. We're going to have Arv take some shots at Daddy Derek, but is going to be distracted by Panographer punching out a window on the top of exit. Flashes are going to go out. Daddy Derek could be in trouble here, but looks like Arv could be flashed. No, is going to opt to go down, instead take out Garage Cam and rotate to Spiral Stairwell.
Yeah, the Ash is getting the initial map control that you want an entry frag to be doing. He's sneaking up into a very powerful position at bottom spiral, as most players will not expect this, seeing as now Osper has taken 25% damage as Irene goes down to a spawn peak in this instance. Though you still have the attackers upstairs, and not a whole lot of HP has been taken away, unlike Irene, who's now about one shot from any gun in the game after his revive. Arv has made a gigantic circle all the way around the map, and he's coming up right on Quinter as he will take him down for the initial pick of this round.
Ooh, but Big Bear is going to have something to say about that. Taking down Irene with a C4 from, I believe, below. And that's going to be nice for them, as that is the hard breach down. Panographer just missed Arv on that angle, but Engine did take a lot of damage there. Arv is going to be taken down finally by Panographer. Sitting at low HP, going to have to use the stim.
And the diffuser is down inside of sight, as the location of Big Bear is not known, as he's sitting quite aggressive in the middle of the circle desk cover. He has now opened up the hatch and given himself a way to escape, as now the initial air jab of the Nomad, pardon me, is taken away, and now a run out opportunity for Panographer is open, as Shift does get a pick upstairs onto the final roamers.
All of a sudden, Engine is planting the diffuser in that corner. Not sure if they know it. Yes, they know it's going off, as the smoke canister will go down, preventing that plant. 40 seconds left in the round. No smokes left for Daddy Derek, though. They're going to have to play this very carefully, as this round could be all the marbles for both teams. Daddy Derek sitting nicely behind that shield, as Pun with the duck is going to come in for help. The diffuser is going down by Engine. 1 second left on it, and it looks like it will stick. All of a sudden, UA has the plant down.
As well as them being in very strong post-plant positions, we're going to have to see some aggression coming out from Daddy Derek, as Panographer does get the first pick onto C-Man. The rest of these two attackers are upstairs, as Engine gets a kill onto Daddy Derek. He's actually outside, as Shifty gets another one onto Osper, trying to retake some control upstairs. Panographer's going to go ahead and swing and will lose his life, as Engine is playing a very strong angle and will take the round for University of Akron.
And all of a sudden, that's a critical win for Akron. We talked about how much they needed that, and that's what they needed. They stopped the 2-round win momentum that Sheridan had built up, and now, even though they're going to have to go back to console meeting office and win on attack, they just prevented a 6-4 lead by Sheridan. All of a sudden, they can win this map with only 2 rounds left. We could either see overtime. We could see Sheridan winning the series, or we could see map 3.
However, we do have to say that Sheridan does have their 2 more preferred sites opened, as despite the result of this round, they will either be able to go console office again if they lose, or they will be forced back down to basement for the final round. But having these options opened, as they got their lobby defense out just in the nick of time to really set up a possible win situation for them. I'm interested to see how Akron is going to try to force their way back and really force away the strong positions that we saw Sheridan hold, as I believe it was Osper was playing in this baguette desk area, really holding down long desk with both the shield and a really great rotate hold that denied any entry to site. I'm
liking how exciting this game has been. It's a little bit off topic from the prep phase, but we've seen two really close games here, and this game is even closer than the previous, sitting at 5-5. Either team within grasp of winning this map. This is definitely going to be the game of the night to watch. We're going to get right into action phase here. 10 seconds into the round. Looks like we're going to have Arv open up Visa office, as most of them, I assume, are going to push either into Visa or into admin office.
And it will seem as if they're going towards admin and Visa office in conjunction, as the drone work is going to push Arv all the way into these bottom Visa stairs. He's pushing up now. However, Quinter now is droned out, and his location is known that he might be trying to get a flank up behind Arv. Now these drones are going to be protecting him here, as he's going to take the initial fight onto Quinter and win that handily. As now the Ash has gotten the entry pick, and another player will be peeking him, but no bullets will connect.
Arv did pick up a PC utility there. I believe that was a Black Eye sitting on site. It's going to be pretty big. However, Osprey is going to fire some shots down long desk hallway towards Arv. Not going to connect yet. Some interesting gunshots are going out between the teams. Frags are going out to blow the ADS, but so far, besides a one pick, it looks like UA has decent control over that side of the map that they want.
Yeah, and this is what they lacked last time attacking. They were a little bit too slow on their push in towards Projector and Admin, because now we're seeing Arv just get really aggressive and push up and try to force this Wamai away. However, there's a lot of pings coming out, as there is most likely a Black Eye camera, or even a stolen drone this instance, as Panographer gets a kill onto Seaman as Osper is downed. So now it's essentially a 4v3 now, as now Arv will pick up Big Bear, as Pun will refrag back onto Arv this time, as well as be able to pick up the Wamai of Osper.
Now that Osper is back up, it's back at a 3v3, but two of the defenders are at low HP. Engine is going to be firing that asphyxiation bolt, which could instantly kill Osper if he were to walk into it. He's going to get away with his life. They're trying to fight for control of that meeting room site. They still have 50 seconds left. It looks like they just missed him behind. And, is going to be taken down. All of a sudden, Engine is going to take down Daddy Derek with Osprey responding onto Engine. Shifty takes down Panographer. All of a sudden, it's just up to Osper to get this as the plant is going down.
Attackers activating the
He is able to cross out and will take out Shifty, putting it to a 1v1 clutch situation. However, the time is now on the favor of the attackers, as there's only 35 seconds left for Osper to get this done. However, he will go ahead and take out Yrene, and is now just looking for a possible Claymore, as he has all the time in the world to get this defuse and take the round home for Sheridan College.
Yeah, last time I checked, 27 is greater than 7, so Osprey will have plenty of time to defuse that diffuser. And with that, Sheridan is at the 6-point mark. We're going to go back down, I would assume, to Cafe Basement. Cafe Garage on the basement. And Akron's going to have to win this, because if Sheridan wins this round, they win the map. And that is 2 of the 2 map wins they need to win the series. So Akron has everything on the table to send this to overtime and potentially to map 3 if they want to advance in the playoffs.
Now Akron definitely has their back against the wall, and despite the heroics of Arv on this Ash, it has not been quite enough to deny this the trident, this trio of Sheridan, as Quinter, Panographer, and Osper are just answering back with frags of their own. All 3 of these players have hit the triple-digit mark, with only Arv on the Akron side being able to accomplish this. As now this is do or die for Sheridan, as well as do or die for Akron. They have to win this round right here, or else their playoff journey is done in this round of 32. Here we're seeing Sheridan going back down to the basement bomb site that they were able to win last time, but it's going to be definitely a hard attack, or a hard defense to win if Akron has anything to do with it, because as we said, all of their hopes of playoffs do ride on this round, and they're probably going to push forward with all they've got.
Oh, they absolutely are. Like, these players really care about their team. I'd say the vast majority of players who play CA really want to win. No one likes losing, so they're going to put everything they can into winning this attack, and it's going to be hard because they only have a bonnet and they're going up against a bandit. They're going to have to get control of either that exit yellow stairwell or piano room to take out Osper. and those shock wire charges, because otherwise they have no anti-hard breach or anti-breach denial utility that they can use besides the frags from C-Man.
Yeah, we're seeing Arv get really aggressive once again as he flies straight into Visa, using the astute drone work from the rest of his team to push forward on this intel and get a lot of aggressive map control. However, he might run into Daddy Derek a little bit sooner than he would like to, as now 75 or 25 of his HP will be gone at the hands of the SMG-11, peeking from bottom spiral.
Yeah, with 45 seconds off the round clock, we have, looks like Akron has control that they want of Visa office. They're just peering down, making sure no one is there. Daddy Derek is at the bottom of that stairwell as the air jab comes out. Some shots are going to be fired by Arv towards Daddy Derek, but he's going to get away with his life, falling back all the way to Archives.
And it possibly could spell a sort of backside take for Akron, as all the pieces are starting to fall into place. They have a pinch now on both Visa stairs as well as Spiral, as C-Man's started watching the flank here. The rest of the roamers are all the way upstairs as Panographer does get the pick onto C-Man and spells the end of any players playing on Spiral. However, Quinner will now pick off Engine as another Spiral player falls, but Arv will get a refrag, return back onto Daddy Derek, and that's one of the anchors being gone. However, there are still two roamers upstairs as Irene just aggressively drops the hatch straight into Archives, and it probably will be a backside take.
Akron is not out of it yet. They are down one operator, but they have some of the strongest fraggers in the game on their team. In terms of operators, they have found the bomb. Not that they did know where it was originally, but they're going to have some trouble here. It looks like Winner is going to be looking to go down that spiral stairwell as Big Bear gets a C4 kill on a shifty with Arv responding by taking down Quinner with that double kill. It's all up to Arv and Irene to keep their team alive in playoffs.
45 seconds left, but they still do have the diffuser, as Arv's going to go ahead and flash himself straight into the basement corridor here, as now he will just opt to go back, and there's a lot of pressure falling upon these last three anchors. Panographer has managed to fall all the way back and is holding a long angle towards the door, as Big Bear will finish up where Panographer left off, leave it all up to the captain, Irene, here on the Ibana. So come on, Irene, we want to see this clutch. We want overtime, as most likely Akron does as well, but it's going to be a tall order as he has three defenders left to take out, and the first will actually not go down, as Panographer saves the Valkyrie's life and ends this game and ends this series with Sheridan College winning 2-0.
And, hats off to Akron, too. That was a very close game from both teams. Both of them played their hearts out and gave it their all. I'm excited for the rest of playoff season because that was a great first game to cast for me. We have Quinner and Panographer at 13 kills, and with that, I believe Panographer is at 30 kills for the night between the two maps, and that's a lot of kills. Also, shout out to Arv for getting the 14 for their team. University of Akron, definitely good showing from a lot of the players on both sides.
Yeah, but I do have to say, we are going to have an interview, which is always something that us casters do love to do. We get to pick the mind of some of these players and see what was going on behind the scenes, as we actually will be seeing Sheridan College representative coming in. We don't know exactly who at this point. We're trying to get in touch with them, as actually will be Panographer coming in. We get to pick his brain just a little bit, as he did have an absolutely great series.
Yeah, I mean, 30 kills between two maps, nothing to joke about. I don't think I even get 30 kills between 10 maps. So that's definitely a good showing from him especially, and the rest of both of the players tonight. We are going to bring them in a second, but while we wait for that, we can do a little bit of sponsors here since we're at the end of the night. Big shout out to our three sponsors who do make everything we do here at CEA possible. Rogue Energy. Use code CEA at checkout for a nice discount. We also have what's new.gg. They sell a lot of apparel, especially some of our stuff. Great gear. Be sure to check them out and send them some love. And also we have CORSAIR. They have done some giveaways for us, and they sell great PC parts and accessories. So once again, big shout out and love to our sponsors. And with that, we're going to go right into our interview with Sheridan.
Actually, hello, Pun. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, how's it going, C-Daps? I'm doing very good.
You gotta say hi to Dopenshire, too.
Hi,
Hey,
Dopenshire. I love you just
how's
as
it
much.
going? Thank you, thank you. Also, congrats on the I believe 30 kills for the night.
Hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a definitely very good showing from you and your team. How does it
Thank you.
feel advancing to the round of 16?
We're really happy. We're pretty proud of ourselves. Akron put up a really good fight on that second map. We feel like they definitely had an idea of what we were doing, but we made a few micro adjustments and tried to do our best, and ultimately we came out on top, which was great.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just go ahead
definitely
and open
good.
up with the questioning, I guess. So we were already talking about that second map, as if definitely from the casting side on our thing, it just looked like an absolute slugfest, as neither one of you teams was able to quite get enough momentum in the first half. However, do you want to go ahead and talk about those micro adjustments that let you guys sort of string those final 3 rounds together?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we kind of were picking up that they were trying to play a little faster and try to ignore the roam a little bit on some of our sites. So we tried to just beat them back to site basically, and we knew if we took the gunfights, we'd probably end up on top because we were winning most of our gunfights throughout the night. Like me, Quinner, Derek was popping. Everybody's doing good. We all had a lot of clutches. So we knew if we just tried to take those fights to them on site, that we'd probably be able to stall them out long enough and take the dub.
Yeah, I mean, we noticed that, especially towards the latter half of the second half when you guys were on defense, we noticed that a lot of your roamers were able to just drop back down to site without any sort of contest from the other team. And that I think that definitely helped you guys out in
For
terms of
sure.
being able to move your operators from the roam to the anchor positions.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it really helped out.
Yeah, so I guess I want
Yeah,
to.
and
Oh, you can go, Dopin.
so a little bit question about Kali and Wamai. Do you guys have any strats with them, or are you guys just
Um,
kind of sleeping on them for the rest of the season?
I'm not gonna lie, we've talked about them a little bit. We haven't really made anything really centered around them specifically, but we definitely see how strong Wamai is as an operator, especially paired with the Jaeger, especially in this meta. We all know Pro League's really struggling with it right now, so for sure we're gonna be looking into bringing him into our operator lineup for defense.
Alrighty, so I think I just had 2 really critical rounds I want to pick your mind on. I think the
Sure.
first one will be Osper's Womai clutch on third floor of Consulate, where you actually did some heroics. You dodged some bullets and were able to pick him back up, and he was
For
able to
sure.
finish the round. You want to go ahead and let us in on what the comms were like on that instance?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of got caught off. I think it was the Ash that rushed up right away. We got cut off by that right away, and we were trying to hold their push off as long as possible, deny the Habana pellets, which I think they finally got off. But when Osprey went down, I was like, I could try to be the hero right now, but I know that they're just as good as we are in terms of gun skills, so we need the extra gun on the board, and ultimately, he clutched up. That's my boy. That's my IGL right there. He holds true to the big brain plays. So he definitely helped us out on that one for sure to help close out the game.
I think the other round I want to talk about, especially because it's you, if you want to go ahead and break down that final round of Cafe, I think it was a little bit special for you.
Oh, the the ace clutch. I mean, honestly, I couldn't have done it without you know everybody else that was already dead at that point. Comms are really good tonight. Um, Information's always flowing, only what we need to hear. So they really helped me piece that one together. And Will had my back. We were trying to work the plant down in case I died, that he could try to 1v1 the guy coming from bathroom. But ultimately, I kind of knew I just had to make a risky play, and that's kind of what I excel at. I just kind of run in sometimes with my head cut off, and it worked out this time. So turned out
I
pretty good.
mean, they can't headshot you if your head is cut off. So
True.
that is it did work out there. That was a very hype round, especially watching that.
For sure,
Definitely the types of
the
rounds we
comms
want
were
to
going
see here.
crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely good. CDAPs, do you have anything else to add?
I have nothing left.
All right. Well, with that, congratulations on the win. Excited to see you guys play in the round of 16 and
Thank you
potentially
very
beyond.
much.
Also, good job tonight for those watching from Akron. Definitely put up a good fight. Great match for us to watch. Very close. I was hyped the entire time. Don't forget, shout out to our 3 sponsors from earlier. Be sure to follow us on Twitch and on Twitter. We're going to have a lot more games coming next week and the weeks beyond as we wind down our playoffs to the end of the season for spring 2020. CDAPS, do you have anything else to add before we close off?
I think we're all good. I've been CDAPS,
I'm King of Dopenshire.
and would like to wish you a really good night.